way up north in Rhinelander. I serve a dual role with the Alzheimer's Association. So I serve 10 counties as part of the program and services team with the association, but then I am also the walk manager for 3 walks up north. I have Anago, Ashland, and Rhinelander. So I cover a pretty good chunk of territory in the work that I do. Rhinelander is the home of the hodag, so if you have never been to Rhinelander and you've never seen the hodag or you don't know what the hodag is, make sure you come up and visit me. I'd be happy to show you around. We've got hodags all over town, so it's a bit like a scavenger hunt. We'd love to have you come check it out. A couple housekeeping tips before we get going today. We just want to let you know that you are all in listen and watch mode only and you can't be seen or heard right now. But to ask a question or to make a comment, please use the chat feature on the right hand side of the screen and we will make sure to get to the questions and answers at the end of the program today. So I want to acknowledge first off that this is a really tough time for everyone. We thank you so much for your dedication to moving our mission forward. We want to reassure everyone that we are still in full-blown planning mode for the Walk to End Alzheimer's this fall, planning on hosting 27 walks across the state, either in person or possibly even virtually, or there is the possibility that we could do a hybrid of both, a little bit of virtual and a little bit of in-person. But we will definitely keep you in the loop as things develop over the next several months on how our walks will look this coming fall. As I mentioned earlier, Hannah kicked us off yesterday talking about getting the walk, getting your teams registered for the walk. I'm here today to help you take things just a little bit further by helping you to personalize your story on your participant page. In your participant center, you have the chance to personalize and customize your story. What this is really your why you walk. We all participate in the Walk to End Alzheimer's because we have some kind of a connection to the disease. Your connection is the cause that is represented by the color of the flower you carry on walk day. The Your Story section on your walk page tells the story of what your reason is and why you walk. So you've probably all been to the walk before and maybe you've heard of our Promise Garden ceremony if you haven't. It's the most important part of our walk day, I think. But when you register, one of the first things you do after you register is you choose a flower that is part of our Promise Garden ceremony. And the color that you choose represents your reason to walk, why it is that you participate. So if you carry a blue flower, that would represent the person who actually has Alzheimer's disease or another type of dementia. You choose the yellow flower if you are supporting or caring for someone with Alzheimer's. The purple flower represents those people who have lost someone important to them to Alzheimer's or another type of dementia. And the orange flower is for those people who come to the walk that support the cause and they support the mission and the vision of the Alzheimer's Association, and they believe in advocating for the cause, but they maybe don't have that immediate personal connection. So when we think about customizing our page, I want you to keep in mind our Promise Garden ceremony because that is really how you would begin to customize your page. So customizing your page on your participant center is really important. It shows your family and friends that this isn't just another fundraiser, but a truly personal cause that has definitely touched you and that you believe in. Alzheimer's disease and dementia are devastating, and we don't have a cure right now. 1 in 3 seniors will die of this disease. Perhaps your mom has it. Perhaps your grandpa passed away from it. Sharing those facts on your walk page will hit home for people who are considering donating. Updating your page increases the likelihood not only that someone's going to donate to your walk page, but it will probably also increase the amount that they're willing to donate if they know what your motivation is for being part of the event. So now we're going to take a look at exactly how we go about doing that. To customize your walk page, the first thing you'll want to do is to log into your walk site. So I have already logged in, so you can see here I am a registered member of the 2020 Walk to End Alzheimer's in Rhinelander. So the first thing I will do is I will go to my participant center. Once you see the participant center, there on the right-hand side is a bar, and you would check Edit My Page. And once you get to this page, looks like it's taking a second to load. There's actually a few different things that you can do to customize and personalize your page. One of the first things you can actually do is customize your page link. So right here you can see it says customize your link. We would click on that, and that would enable us to change this last part of this web address. And what's nice about that is it makes it look a little bit prettier. It doesn't look like gobbledygook. So if you actually wanted to copy and paste your link and send it to somebody, it looks like something that makes sense, and it has your name or your team name, whatever you would like to be in there. So that's the first step. Once you scroll a little bit down a little bit further, you can also customize who you are honoring. This was actually part of the registration process that you could do when you first registered for the walk. There you can edit the honorary. So why are you walking? Mine is set up just how I wanted. It says Julie is fundraising to honor Gigi Fea. So I'll explain a little bit about who Gigi is in just a minute. Once you have that updated, just the way you like it, you also have the option to edit your photo. It's really important to personalize your photo because this definitely enhances the story that you're telling and adds a visual component to your site. That picture literally becomes the face of your fundraiser, and that alone can make an impact and make people decide to donate to you or to not donate. It immediately attracts attention. So you definitely want to customize this. As you can see, this picture here, that is actually Gigi in the light green. That's my Grandma Thea. And those are my two little munchkins. Actually, they're quite grown now. They were young in this picture, but they're big now. But my kids called my grandma Gigi. So all of us walk every year in honor of Gigi Fea. So you would definitely go up to here to photo, and you can choose then to download a photo. You can also edit the photo, and once you go to edit, there's different things that you can do. There's different banners down at the bottom that you can add. There are stickers that are sunglasses and bow ties and balloons and things that will really jazz up your page if you would like to do that. So I would definitely recommend doing that to customize your photo. The next step you want to do is to update your story. There are a few tips and tricks that might be helpful for you as you're considering how to update your story. It's never an easy thing to do. First and foremost, the thing that you want to do is highlight your personal connection to the disease. So I mentioned the Promise Garden ceremony earlier and how your flower represents why you walk. Use this as your inspiration for the story that you tell. What is your reason to walk? I would be curious, and I would love if you would just take a second or two if you want to open up the chat, and we can talk about some of those connections at the end. If you have that personal connection to the disease, I would love to know what that is. But that's what you're going to highlight first and foremost. Second, use active language that will call that person to action with a sense of urgency. Make them feel like they want to make that donation right now. I know all of us probably have gotten a solicitation before where we thought, oh, I'll think about it, or I don't have time to do it right now, I'll go back, and then we forget and it doesn't happen. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your message is so compelling that they want to make that donation to you right in that moment. Right now, I don't want to say capitalize on the circumstances, but if you've had a personal connection to Alzheimer's that's been impacted by COVID-19, this might be a good place to share it. That's something that all of us can relate to right now, is that challenging situation that we're in. Things like that bring it home. Definitely be compelling. People donate based upon feelings. Inspire them to feel your experience and act. How has Alzheimer's changed your life? How has it affected your loved one's life? How has it affected your feelings for the future? Don't be afraid to put your emotions inside this story. One thing I really like about people who are willing to share their story as well, when other people read it, it helps to erase some of the stigma that is associated with Alzheimer's. The more we see how it has impacted people, the more likely we are to feel less stigma associated with it. So definitely share your story and put those emotions behind it. A fourth thing that can be helpful in this story is that if you have ever utilized one of the services of the Alzheimer's Association, share how we've been able to help you. Give people the opportunity to understand exactly what it is that the Alzheimer's Association does and how those dollars go to work in your community. When they see how their dollars are used, they're way more likely to donate to the cause. So that can be really impactful. Another thing is, someone might read your story and become inspired to seek out help and assistance for themselves. They may not have realized what it was that the Alzheimer's Association does, and thanks to your story, they might now know. Lastly, while sharing your story is absolutely crucial, be concise. We want them to immediately understand the ask and take action on it. Use only as many words as you think you need to get the story across to your donors. But if you're like me and you're a little bit of a talker and a storyteller yourself, and you have a lot to say, that's okay too, but just make sure that the information you really need people to know is right there up at the top. So I will say it's a little bit of work to go in there and to type up that story in there. Make sure you save it before you leave, because you don't want to lose all your energy that you put into it. I will say one last thing that I just thought of. If you have participated in the walk before and you have already customized your page, change it up from year to year. So if you're asking the same people to donate this year that donated last year, you want to give them something new and fresh to look at this year. So update your story with some of the things that are new with you. So to wrap up, follow these steps to tell your personal connection and you will receive the Storyteller badge. I just want to go down here and show you to view my page so you can see that Julie is fundraising to honor Gigi Fea. And you can see here the picture and the story are all fully updated. And the cool thing is when we go down below, there's actually my achievements, and you can actually see those badges that we've been talking about. And the Storyteller one is kind of on the bottom row on the left there. But you can see in here the badges that I've earned up to this point, and I'm hoping to get even more after this week. So let me say thank you for joining me this afternoon to learn about how to personalize your walk fundraising page, and then we will see if there are any questions.
Hi, Julie. We do have one question coming in, and we are being asked if we could advise on what the alternative would be if the physical walk is canceled due to COVID-19.
So what the alternative, that is one thing that is really pending, and I will be very candid when I say we don't have any specifics as to what that might look like at this time, other than we have a team that has been working on different options for the walk. And like I mentioned, it may be possible that it would be a virtual event. It could still be taking place in person, or it could be a combination. We're just not sure right now exactly what that will look like, but when we know, you will know.
Do we have any other questions for Julie? I think that's it, Julie. You want to take us home?
I will. Well, I just want to say thank you one last time. Honestly, I love my job. I couldn't do what I do without all of you. So thank you for all of your efforts on our behalf. I would love to invite you to join us tomorrow when Joanna from our Chippewa Falls office will share some tips and tricks for getting your friends and family and your colleagues to join your walk team. The more people we can recruit to help us fight this disease, the closer we can get to finding a cure. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow at noon.